can I make a choice?
Because you didn't come here to make the choice. You've already made it.
It's funny because I talked about this a little bit on my page pages ago, but I didn't go as deep as this. And I know about this, but I'm going to put it in another way. And it's wild to me, and I hope y'all get it right. Now, we know that we as human beings have free will, right? And a lot of us already know that we are already dead. We are already where we're supposed to be. And a lot of us know that the spiritual manifests first, and then the physical manifests, because the physical is only the illusion. If you don't know now, you know. Now, if you go watch this whole video, she put it in another perspective that I didn't put it in, right? But I'm going to give it to y'all in the same perspective, but more in a dummy term, right? It's weird. It's wild to me. But we are living in a reality that has already happened. Because remember, the physical happens first, and the illusion is really the physical. So I'm living my own life, and you living your own life, right? Now, look at your own life. Everything that you are doing in your life right now, you have already done it, right? You are living in a loop, and you are basically seeing out in the simulation, in the dream. You are seeing the choices that you have made and why you made it. So basically, even though we are living in the flesh and we are living it out, technically where we are, the fact that we are already dead, we are basically living it out on why we made the choices that we made. So every choice that we make in our life technically is not our free will. We already made these choices. So if you decide that you want to go down that road, you already went down that road. We are just living out in the physical to see why we went down that road. And when you think about it, we do have our free will, but our free will has already been handled. We already done it. So if you died, which we all are dead right now, we are basically watching out how we died and how we made the choices that we make to be where we are today. Because remember, everything happened all at once. So where we really are, we are already there. So if you are already in heaven, you are already there. You just haven't gotten there yet to see how you made it to heaven. If you went to hell, per se, you really don't know that you're in hell yet. You are living out the simulation to see why you are in hell. But the fact that we are living in the 3D illusion, we are living it out. The choices that you made. So every choice and every decision that we make in life has already been decided. Everything that we are doing in life right now, we thinking that it's our own personal choice, but our energy, our frequency is already attached to that certain decision that you made. So if you live the rest of your life in misery and turmoil, you are living it out right now why you are living or going to live your life in misery and turmoil, because you are seeing the choices that you have made. And it's like we are basically living in a loop, to as though everything that we are doing right now, we have already done. Every decision that we are making right now has already been decided. We are just living. It's almost like we are having like a human ego death. Like we are living in this life and we are seeing the choices and the decision and the lifestyle we made to have the life that we have. Now, when you think about that, it's like, well, why am I being reincarnated so many times, because technically your soul is one entity. Your soul has lived many different lives, but it's still one soul. It is still one spirit. So technically your soul and your spirit is one, and it lived one life. Now, if you lived a life in your past life where you were royalty, and when you die, you forget. So technically your soul already did the work that it needs to be done to go down the path that it needs to go to. But the body dies, and when it reincarnates back, the fact that we are reincarnated, they make us forget every time when we get into a new body. So you don't really know how old your soul is. You really don't know the life experiences your soul has. You really don't even know nothing about your soul. But you don't really know that your soul is basically living in all of these different bodies, living in this life, because it is learning and it is evolving. So that case, it can finally go to liberation to be where it's supposed to be, right? So you don't know the reason why you are so spiritual. Your soul have lived many different lives to where it was in training to be the way that you are right now. So the fact that you woke up one day and you became spiritually awakened, it just didn't happen. Your soul was already spiritually awakened. It already went through the work. You just don't remember. So one day you get an awakening where though your soul is reminding you, because now it's the time for you to walk down that path, because you have already walked down that path many lives ago. You just have to go through a certain experience to get awakened, to know and remember that, wait a minute, I am already awakened. And I'm like, damn. So the fact that I am where I am in the mind, and the spirit and the consciousness, I've already been there, because I have lived many different lives where I practice it. I've done it. I lived through with it. I worked with it. I dealt with it. And I had to live a certain specific life in order to wake that up, to remind me that this is who you are. And now that I am aware of who I am soulfully, I am going to go down different avenues. Because now I remember. Because remember, living life is not about changing to be a certain person. Life is not about changing who you are in order to go down this road. Life is about remembering who you are. So it's not that we need to become spiritually inclined. We need to become righteous. We need to become this type of person in order to get where we want. We have to remember who we are. And this is why they trained us and they programmed us to forget everything. We even come back reincarnated to forget. Because they don't want you to remember that you already did the work. They don't want you to remember that you are already highly spiritual, highly knowledgeable. They don't want you to know that, because that means when you come back into this life, when you are now a reincarnated being, you're going to know, I done been through the work. You're already going to remember what to go, what to do, how to do, where to go. You're going to remember that. And I'm like, damn. So basically the life that I am living right now, it is basically letting me live it out in a simulation to why I became the woman that I am to this day, and why I am where I am. So technically I don't have my free will, because I already lived it. And where I am in the spiritual is where I was meant to be. I am just living out the life to show me why I am where I am. So basically all the choices that I am making, all the relationships that I am in, everything that I am doing, I have already done it. And where I'm supposed to be is where I am now. It's just that I am living it out in a simulation to see why I made these choices, why I did what I did. Because right now I am already at where I'm supposed to be. I just don't know it in the 3D dimension yet. I just don't see it yet, because I got to live the experience to get up into that moment. Just like my higher self. Wow.